Welcome to the final topic of Unit 3. This is topic 3.4, bill research. So this isn't so much notes as this is an explanation of how to do this, not quite a project, but how to do this research of the bills currently being considered by our Congress. So by the end of this lesson, you should be able to describe at least 2 to 3 bills or more that Congress is currently considering making into a law. Now, you probably remember from if you were in class or if you weren't, this is going to inform you how to do it. There isn't a fill-in-blank notes that goes with this video. Instead, I went over these instructions in class, and now if you need to go back and reference them, here they are for you. So this is what the worksheet looks like. Now, it looks like a lot. There's a lot going on here. A lot of different boxes, a lot of different information I'm asking you to look for. But actually, once you start doing this, you're going to find this is actually a very, very easy and very quick assignment. So depending on the version of this worksheet you have, depending on the year I'm giving this, I believe it's between 3 to 4 or 2 to 3. Check the directions on the worksheet, but you have to do some research on some bills by using Congress's website and look up this information. So I'm going to walk you through how to do this. And again, I've color-coded everything to make it nice and easy for you to follow along with these directions with your worksheet. So on the directions and on the Google Classroom assignment, there is a link to congress.gov. This is the official website of the United States Congress. And it does a lot of things, a lot of information here, but what you're going to be concerned with is going up here to this top search bar, and you're going to make sure it says Current Congress right up here. And then you're going to type in a topic, anything that you're interested in, any word randomly that you want to know if there's a proposed law, a bill currently being considered by Congress right now about that topic. And that can be literally anything you want. You want to be interested in zoos? Type in zoos. If you're interested in the rights of trans people, you can do that. If you want wondering what judges might be impeached or what member of the executive branch might be considering an impeachment of, you can look up that. So I'm going to walk you through what I did just as an example of how to fill out this worksheet. So I typed in the word candy. All right, what is related to candy? And you notice down here, it's going to show you a whole list of bills that has the word candy in them. And so you're going to look for things that say HR or S in front of them. Now, you notice there's a lot of things down here that don't really pertain to you in the results. That's because over here in the search bar, or in the search boxes, I have everything still checked. To make it easier for you, what I would do is I would uncheck everything over here except the word legislation. That means the only thing that's going to show up in your search results are legislation or bills that are currently being considered by Congress. If you don't want to do that, it'll tell you right here in your search results that this result is a bill currently being considered. So pick any of them you want, any bill that's currently being considered, and that's what I want you to click on. Once you do, you'll see the information you need for the gray boxes and the orange boxes. So things you're going to look for. Number one, what is the name of the bill? Right here it says Protecting Kids from Candy-Flavored Drugs Act. So you would just write that here. Feel free to copy and paste that if you will. But again, writing things out is going to make you remember it a lot better. As far as the orange boxes here, how do you tell if this bill started out in the House or the Senate? Well, there's a pretty, simple trick for this. So over here, if you look at the left of the name, right, this is the name of the bill. Over here are some letters and a number. If it says HR and the number, that means it started in the House of Representatives. Instead, if this said S and then the number, it started in the Senate. So if it says HR, click House. If it says S here, click Senate. It's literally that simple. Then you go down to the yellow boxes and you're going to look for words or phrases that you had to look up and what they mean. So you put the word or phrase here and then what it means here. So you're going to go to right here, click at the bottom of this same screen that we've been looking at. It says summary. You can also go to the text here. The text of the bill can be quite lengthy, right? I'm not going to expect you to read the entire bill. Feel free to if you're interested in it, but you don't have to read the whole thing. Instead, look for the summary, read that summary, and see if you can find a couple words or phrases from that either you don't know, you had to look up, or you think are important for understanding what this bill is. Now, if there is no summary here, you can either go to the text or just choose a different bill. Literally that simple. For the green box, it says committee or committees the bill was assigned to. So sometimes they're assigned to one or more committee. So if it's just one, you put the one committee name. If not, you then would have to hit enter and then put in a second one. So to find this, you can either go down to this tab right here that says committees, or it even says it very helpfully right here, committees. So you see here that it was sent to both the House Judiciary Committee, so you'd write House Judiciary, or the House Energy and Commerce. So then you'd have to put a second line here, Energy and Commerce. So that's all you need for the green box. If there's more than two committees assigned, then you'll have to click down here to see all those. But again, really, what's put up here is going to be enough for you to fill out that green box. All right, now down to this tannish, goldish, whatever you want to call this color right here. These boxes has 3 questions. The sponsor of the bill, what state is the sponsor from, and what party is the sponsor a member of. To find that, you go up here to this white box again. It says, above where it said committees, you're going to look for sponsor. And here it says rep, it means representative, Banks, Jim. So the sponsor of the bill, Representative Jim Banks. Here they put in the last name, first. I would do Representative Jim Banks. You write it out the proper way. Now, what state are they from? Well, right here you can see there's these 3 things after his name, an R-IN-3. So that IN means they're from the state of Indiana, and so you would write that right here. What party are they a member of? Well, that R means they're from the Republican Party. So you'd write Republican right here. So that is how you find that. Now, if you're wondering what that third thing is, that number, that means he represents the 3rd congressional district in the state of Indiana as a Republican. But I'm not asking for the district number, right? Just what state are they from, and are they a Democrat or a Republican? So their name, right here, their state they're from, right here, and what party they are a member of, that's right here. And again, if that were a D, that would mean Democrat. So that information is right here to help you out. Going on to the purple section of the instructions. So here, you're looking for the legislation tracker. So we're further into the term. So by this point, it's still early days. Most bills are still going to be in the introduced phase. Some of them may have passed the House, some of them may have passed the Senate. Very few of them have gone to the president and become law yet. So most of you will be in these first 3 sections. If it's highlighted introduced, you would just check the box introduced and move on. If it says passed House or passed Senate, yada, 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 you click those boxes as well. But again, most of you are going to be in this introduced section because most bills are introduced, they go to committee, and then they just die. But this right here is where you can find the information for the purple section. The green box below it, what is the CBO cost estimate for this bill? So CBO means Congressional Budget Office. That is where they kind of get it's basically nonpartisan. They're not Democratic, they're not Republican. It's essentially bureaucrats who say, hey, we kind of tallied up how much, what this bill is about, what you're asking people to do. Here's what it's going to cost us. In order to find the information, over here next to the white box, you would click where it says more on this bill. It says CBO cost estimate. So you would click that, and that would bring up a little box just like this. Most of these will say that there is CBO cost estimate for this measure has not yet been received. So not all bills have been scored by the CEO yet. That means they haven't yet had time to figure out how much that bill would cost if it went into effect. If yours says CBO cost estimate for this measure has not yet been received, if it says that, then you're just going to write not yet received in the green box. If it does give you a cost estimate, then you'd write that here. Again, a lot of these bills don't ever get scored because they're not going anywhere. They're low priority. So most of the bills you're going to find are going to say, not yet scored, not yet received. So feel free, look that up, and then just put that number right there. Going on to the blue box, where does this bill claim its constitutional authority from? So this means, again, remember that Congress has only the delegated powers. It can only do the things that the Constitution says it can make laws about. So when they're writing a law, they generally have to say where in the Constitution they're getting the authority to make this law. In order to find that, again, under this more on this bill, right above where you click for CBO cost estimates, there's going to be something that says constitutional authority and single subject statements. So you're going to click on that, and it's going to come up with a little box right here. And then if you see where I highlighted here, This particular bill says Congress has the power to enact this legislation pursuant to the following. And it says Article 1, Section 8 of the Constitution, specifically Clause 18, relating to the power to make all laws necessary and proper for carrying out the powers vested in Congress. So really what they're doing here is they're saying this is the necessary and proper clause. Now you could do Article 1, Section 8, and then Clause 18, that's fine. Or you could write the necessary and proper clause. That's what we'd write down. Now, again, I'd be remiss if I didn't point out that not all of these bills, the sponsors of them, the authors of these bills, took the time to actually write that out. If they did, that's where you'd find the information. If this isn't here, then just put none listed. All right, here is where you actually have to do some of your own thinking about the legislation. This is the only parts of this assignment that are not actually findable or searchable on this website because this is about your opinion. So first off, I want you to take a couple minutes and in 2 to 3 sentences, summarize what this bill is trying to do in your own words. So you read the summary of it. Now give me 2 to 3 sentences. What do you think this bill is trying to do? Then in the purple over here, what's your opinion? Should it be a law? Click yes or no, depending on how you feel about that. There's no right or wrong. This is just asking you to stop and think about a potential law that Congress is considering and what your opinion of it is. And then in this final box here, explain why you think this bill should or should not become a law in 2 to 3 sentences. So again, these are your own thoughts. Why should Congress pass this or why should they not? Looking for 2 to 3 sentences on that. And then once you're done with that, rinse and repeat with a couple more proposed bills and you're done with this assignment. The idea here is for you to get an understanding of some of the things Congress is proposing to become law right now. There you go. That's it. That's the assignment. I don't want to call it a project because really you can get this done in one class period, less if you're really focused. So it's not really a project. It's just another assignment where I'm asking you to do kind of a web quest research of a couple of bills that are being considered. If you have questions, of course, reach out. But that's it. That's all there is to this. I'll see you next class, I guess.